The camp was started in the summer of 1967. Dr. Hamwi had felt that we should have a camp in Central Ohio. As a pediatrician, I had under my care a one-year-old who had developed diabetes. His father was a Baptist minister, Elliot Fair. He knew of a Baptist camp in Loudonville, Camp Judson Hills, and he negotiated the use of the camp for us, so he was the starter for that. In the dark ages when we started, the best management was dependent on urine testing. It was because of the urine testing that Elliot Fair had suggested the name for the camp, and so we called it Camp Spill a Little, until I think Tina Wozniak was our youth director, and she suggested we should name it in honor of Dr. Hamwi.
It was probably one of the biggest positive impacts outside of family members in my life ever. First day that I was at camp, Lou Saslow looked me in the eye and says, "You control your diabetes or it will control you." And I thought, that's a heck of a philosophy. And I've lived it that way. When I started, we were at Judson Hills, and all three age ranges came at the same time. You had kids from as young as 6, but usually start them at 7, up to 17. Regardless of their age, and it doesn't matter if they've had it for 2 days or their entire life, they see that there are other kids out there that have diabetes. They also see that there are young adults. Most of our staffers are college students. They see them being able to manage their diabetes in their life and make it through college, and then they see some of the older staffers that have full-time jobs that you can do just about whatever you want to do.
Kids like to be just like everybody else, and diabetes in and of itself makes them different. So when they come to camp and they see that they're in the majority, they say 60 to 70 to 80 other kids just like them. They see a program staff which is almost 100% just like them.
My first year at camp, I learned to be more independent, and I didn't need as much help from my parents after that, giving myself my shots and checking my blood sugar. Going to school and being able to do that, I think gives me more freedom. To go to Camp Hamwi is especially fun because you get to do every activity you can imagine of, and you just get to be with normal people that have the same illness as you.
The satisfaction and the gratification that comes from working with a camp program is just enormous. Some of my staff tell me that they learned more about their diabetes at camp than they did anyplace else. The staff have such a buy-in and such a belief in the camp program that they take their 1 year of vacation from their job and do it at camp.
We do have both campers and staff who return to the camp year after year, and in part it's because they have such a good experience. Not only do they learn about diabetes, but they learn about themselves, and they learn about how to make a contribution to the camp program.
If I were telling someone if they just got diagnosed to come to camp, I'd be like, oh, you have to come, it's so much fun. You get to do sports, and you get to do a talent show, and there's a dance, and there's all this stuff that you can do.
If you've ever been to any other summer camp, diabetes camp is pretty much all the same activities, just we have to take time out to test, inject, and handle the medical issues, but there's horseback riding, swimming, hiking, canoeing, arts and crafts.
Camp really does encompass a family. The kids come and they have that bond, that commonality of living with diabetes, type 1 or type 2. A lot of the program staff have that bond, so that family atmosphere.
And it's really a lifestyle management program. For children with diabetes, they need to know how to manage all of those aspects of diabetes self-management. And for many of them, it's really the only opportunity they have to come together to meet with endocrinologists, doctors, certified diabetes educators, social workers, and they learn not only from those professionals, but they learn from each other.
I mean, I'm still figuring things out about my own self and about my diabetes. So going there every year makes it just as special as any other year because you get to learn more about yourself, and the doctors and dietitians help you do that. So I think it's a great thing.
It gives them that reassurance that they're not alone. It gives them a tremendous amount of opportunity to learn and to grow.
And so camp is important that they come and learn the skills and the management that they need to take care of themselves throughout their entire life.
The camp is a tool to make it easier for them, to make it a pleasanter experience, even to make it fun. Knowing they have diabetes, they have to do all the management things, and that's going to go on for the rest of their lives, but they can also do everything else.